The first important sequence in the film is when the chief was hugging Mac, his friend. This was important because it demonstrated to us how the chief had actually built a strong bond with Mac, and that he wasn't actually crazy. He was actually the most normal person in that room, but he was acting nonetheless. Now this goes to show, now this would be a theme found inside this movie, hidden personalities. As you can see, other patients in this movie seem to be a little cuckoo, if you will. But what's interesting is that the chief was putting on a cuckoo face, in order to hide his true identity, which is significant. The next important sequence in this film is when Mac decided to take out his friends, or his buddies, into the real world. This was significant because it demonstrated how these psych patients were cut off from the real world, and they hadn't been on a boat. You could tell because they all seemed quite surprised when they in the boat scene. It's also another theme in the real world is that due to increasing technologies and our thoughts, sometimes we do the wrong things when we decide to cut people off from the real world, and that can be devastating to one's personality. The last most important sequence in this film is when Bibbit, or Bill Bibbit, kills himself. This is pretty important because he seemed to have been cured from his stuttering, but when Nurse Ratched comes back and reminds him of his mother, he starts stuttering again, and then it freaks him out, and he kills himself. And that's pretty important because it shows how Mac actually cured him, contrary to Nurse Ratched, who actually managed to, you could almost say she killed him. Now, why is this a psychological drama? That's quite interesting because Mac went into the psych ward thinking he was normal, in order to escape the prison life. But in reality, he went back to prison. It was a psychological drama because he went into a mental prison. In the end, he was lobotomized, and this was dangerous. This was the whole goal of the film, is to demonstrate that you can be a prisoner of your own mind, and how, due to the lobotomy and due to his actions, he is now a vegetable and cannot enjoy life like he used to. So that's why drama. It sort of showed the viewer how we can tamper with our own mind, even through Nurse Ratched, and like I was saying before, when Billy killed himself, Nurse Ratched was playing on his emotions and his thoughts, and that caused him to kill himself. My overall impression of the film was that it was really well done, because the storyline was pretty clear. There was nothing confusing about it. The actors were great. I mean, I honestly thought that some of them actually had deficiencies. It was actually quite humorous at times, and it even provoked emotion when the chief threw that object through the wall and escaped. I was quietly cheering in my chair. It was just that awesome. So that is why I really enjoyed this film. And the last topic found in this film is oppression. I think oppression is a clear theme, because you can see how some of these people voluntarily went into this war. Now, one could question whether they were pushed by outside factors, but they were oppressed by the outside world, and even certain characters in this film were oppressed by people inside the ward. So it's really, you can't escape it. You have to learn how to deal with it, and that's why I think that theme is kind of prevalent, because the chief learns how to deal with being oppressed by Nurse Ratched and all that, by acting that he was deaf and dumb. But as you can see, Bill Bibbit, by killing himself, couldn't face with this kind of oppression, and that's why I think this is a pretty important theme in the movie. Thank you.